But anyway, when David heard this guy, from Gath, Goliath, he said these things, and David responded, and he said to them, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine?" He called him what he was. He didn't say, "Who is this big guy? Who is this problem I see? What is this problem I see? What is this thing that's happening? Why is this happening to me? What's going on?" No, our problems should be identified as what they are. If they're not from God, say, "What is this thing? Get out of here!" And David asked the question. And I want to find that verse. Because they asked him when he said, "That's Goliath." And he said, "Well, what will be done to the man who gets rid of that problem?" And they said to him, "He'll get to marry the king's daughter, and his family will be tax exempt in the kingdom." I bet his brothers were glad about that time, and I hope he wins. Tax exempt and live in the king's court, and all these things are going to. They told him the first time, and then that giant rails off again, and he thinks, I know you're all standing for the word. I'm quickly going through the scriptures here to find that one where he says the third time, what's the reward? What's the prize? He asked 3 times, what's the prize? And he told him again, and he went to see King Saul, and they tried on his armor, and it didn't work. He said, "I haven't proven this, but I have proven the sling, and I have proven the name of the Lord my God. I have proven that God gives me the strength to do it. That's what I know. That I know how to operate in the presence of the Lord. I know." And I like what David said in verse number 49. "And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead. And the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David." Rest of the story is he ran out there and took Goliath's sword and cut off his head. But one thing it didn't mention here is what David said before he threw the stone with his sling. "You come to me with a sword and a shield, but I come to you," he wasn't left-handed, "I come to you in the name of the Lord my God." Phew. Some people say God directed it, but David had practiced that with that sling for a lot of times. He sat out there on the fields tending his sheep, and he is aiming at the soup cans, whatever he had. He's aiming. He's practicing. He knew how to use it. But he really knew how to use the name of the Lord. Amen. You may be seated, please.